how he started his. I did not hear it. Words already got to me. And I'll tell you this, you don't have any idea how much I appreciate him doing that. He's the voice of college basketball. He is. He didn't have to do that. That's what makes people extraordinary. He didn't have to do that. Caring is an incredible talent, and we can all learn that. Are people sick of me talking about it? Yes. You watched our team play. If they quit with 3 minutes to go, what would that locker room be like? I am not going to quit on them. Can't do it. There's emergency legislation within the NCAA. I've got them all chronicled. Anybody wants them, call me up. I can give them all to you. You can do anything they want to do. And I appreciate him doing that. To have us here, this is incredible. Those young men, I will let JB talk about it, they will never forget that experience the rest of their life. 9 days. Cameron, Poly, Rupp Arena. That's Bellarmine University. People say, why? Because in our belief, that's what a program is about. I'm not argumentative. I'm not being different. I don't use the word culture. I use the word program because that means you have a plan. Plan at the likes of Cameron and UCLA and Rupp Arena. That is a key component in the plan because that's putting your players first. Now, the game, just to go public, Sunday's schedule, 8:30 breakfast, 9:30 walkthrough, 12 o'clock pregame, 4 o'clock tip, 9:30 Sunday night, West Coast time, bus, 11:45 flight. We landed in Atlanta at 6:20 a.m. Got back on campus at 10 a.m. Film, practice more film at 4:30 yesterday afternoon. 11 o'clock walkthrough this morning. Why? Because it's based on class schedules. 2:45 bus, stop 8 on the way up here after more film to get on the bus. And not one word because there's no entitlement. They understand how blessed and fortunate they are. And I broke down the stat sheet to JB back there. We led 12:52, they led 16:35. I mean, do they have an advantage physically? Yes. Do they have an advantage on the backboard? Yes. We didn't shoot it well, but there was not an ounce of quit in anybody on this program. Questions for both of us? Now, he's already got his MBA, so I don't know if you should call him Dr. Betts or what. I don't know what you call him, whatever you want. I don't know. I mean, this kid is amazing. Go ahead.
Scott, was there something they had a hard time scoring against you guys in the first half? Was there something you saw that you thought you could take away from them or throw at them to make it tough?
Everybody talks about our passing. Well, passing is a sign of playing well together. And if we're going to play well together on offense, what we stress is to play team defense. If it's 5 one-on-one games, we're not winning. But we're going to try to play incredible team defense. That's how we have to play. That's how we teach it.
Outside of a small stretch in the middle of the second half, you guys did a really great job of slowing UK down. How were you able to keep them out of transition for most of the game?
Well, good offense. Good offense, and then we could get a set defense. The runouts, I think if you break down the stats, the 11 points off turnovers are backbreakers. What we talked about at halftime, Jack, we said they can't make a run if they don't get second shots and we don't turn it over. And then the film won't lie in that regard.
Justin, you've now played in 3 of these iconic venues. Coach always talks about not just coaching you guys up on the court, but also the importance of learning about the history and tradition behind the programs. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah, the last 9 days have been a privilege in every way possible, from obviously starting at Duke, going to UCLA, ending it here at Rupp. And we have definitely taken the history into account. At UCLA, they have a hallway, and Coach took us through it, and it shows all their NBA players, all their history, John Wooden's Triangle of Success, and it's just pyramid of success. Thank you. But it's all stuff we can learn from. It's stuff we're striving to get to as a program, And it's an honor to not only play at these places, but to play against the teams that we've played, because they have amazing players, amazing coaches, and it's all first class. And our goal is to get better every single day as a program and as a university. And there's no better way to do that than to learn from Duke, UCLA, and Kentucky.
Coach, you keep talking about building a program. You picked up a big win at Louisville, and then we're competitive against all three of these teams you've mentioned. How do you use that to build off your teams, even though the score doesn't reflect it at the end, but you saw moments where it was just extremely competitive?
I could bring, if I could get them in Louisville, I could bring Coach Pitino, Coach Crum. I could fly in Roy Williams and Coach K and said, okay, we got practice Thursday, 11 o'clock. Will you help us make a practice plan? I could bring all four of those. I could bring in Coach Knight. There's no way they can make a practice plan to simulate what we just went through. Impossible. So what do smart people do? They wear people out who want to help them. And that's our approach to this. After we lost to UCLA, we made a great run, and we vowed, it was a 10-point game with just over 8. We missed a free throw and 2 wide open threes. And my message in the locker room was, nobody's going to use the word if. Not going to say if. We're going to say next time. Well, how do you get better next time? Practice. The biggest detriment of this schedule was the lack of practice. I mean, we just haven't had the opportunity to practice, plus the health issues. But, I think teaching is coaching. Coaching is teaching. They should look up who Coach Rupp is. They should do that. They should understand Coach Calipari coached in the NBA, not just at Memphis and Kentucky. They should know about Coach Wood. I mean, I take that very serious. And what's great is they embrace it. They get the credit.
Justin, I guess with this latest stretch, you've seen 3 top 25 teams in the country. How have you seen these elite programs react with you guys' distinct offensive style? Just have you seen them play on defense, and Kentucky tonight specifically? How do you think they played on defense?
Kind of the whole last stretch, including Clemson, including Loyola. A lot of the response from teams and coaches is that we're very hard and frustrating to guard, and that's exactly what we're trying to do on offense. We never want the ball to stop. We want to take up all 30 seconds of the shot clock and make them guard the entire time. And, they're great teams, and like Coach said, we usually are at a disadvantage athletically against teams like this. But it does prove to us that our offense can work against them as well. And we just have to have faith in our abilities as players. I think that we're going to continue to improve on our shooting. We haven't really had a game that we've shot the ball really well yet. And whenever that happens, our offense gets even better because it spreads the court, opens up more cuts, opens up more drives. But there have been some points within each game that we've played that our offense has been really efficient. And there's also been times that it hasn't been as good and the ball sticks, and that's stuff we have to learn from. But we have a lot of young guys this year, opposed to the last 2 years, and they're getting into the rotation more and more, and they're doing great. Especially at UCLA, we had a lot of guys step up. But offensively, especially, it's cool because, like Coach said, we can't simulate their size and their athleticism. A lot of teams cannot simulate how we play offense, and so it takes them time to adjust. And that's just something that we're going to get to carry over into conference season for teams that have seen us some more. But yeah, it does give us a lot of confidence knowing that our offense can be successful against them as well.